It's Wednesday afternoon. JP here on Learn Brizy Page Builder with an off-the-cuff session, very impromptu session, and it's just going to be very natural. I didn't prepare anything for this. I just finished a video for the recording of the Brizy Pro beta 0.0.31, which includes the Pro pop-up builder extension that will now also include triggers and conditions. And after lunch, I thought I want to play around with it, but I thought let's do it together and see how it works. Because actually one of the things that I'm guilty of with the pop-up builder is I haven't actually ever built a pop-up from scratch. I've been very happy with what has been given in the pre-made pop-up blocks and then just using that and modifying it to whatever I need. But I thought, let's just look at it, let's go through it, and then in this off-the-cuff session, we will just look at this very impromptu, and a mistake I make is going to remain here. You can see when I screw up, and all the perfect things I do will go unnoticed because we only focus on the failures, right? So remember, only for people with Brizy Pro. If you just have Brizy Free, it doesn't matter you download this. I don't think it will even appear in an account because if you don't have Brizy Pro, you won't have an account. Okay, that makes sense. But the 101 free beta doesn't bring in any additional functionality. It only brings in the integration with the Pro so that those Pro thumbnails will appear in the kits. Right, so remember to download both of them and then be smart, be like Bill, and do not install it on your $10,000 per month profitable e-commerce website. Rather put it on something that your little sister is playing with at this moment. Right, so after you have installed that on your site, you are ready to work. So what I'm going to do, I've got this barbershop here, and I think this is a slide. Let's not make it a slide. And currently we are on the front end. So let's go into what I have here in the back. Okay, so I have to, right, so let's just go into the back end. What I want to do is I first just want to deactivate this slider. So just going to deactivate it. This is one of the Pro layouts that come with Brizy Pro that I'm going to use here. And Halloween is coming, so I decided the barbershop wants to throw a Halloween party. I can sort of see it, the Halloween party with all the spider webs and stuffies in a barbershop. That will be quite an atmosphere. What I want to do is I want to put a button here on this hero banner and then tell people, hey, we've got a party. If you want to come, send us your email address so we can send you an invite. And of course, the purpose is to get conversion. Let me just get a button. There should be a pre-made button over here. I'm going to click on that and then double click on it. Let's grab and take it to the top. And my favorite feature now for skipping between a page is page up. Thank you for that tip. Going to drop it there. Let's bring in some space over here and just give it a little bit more. And we can reduce a little bit then like this. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do now, you probably think, but this is very similar to how pop-ups used to work. And you'd be 100% correct. But we're going to go from here. First, we're going to create a new pop-up. And then we're going to look at the new styling features. And then after that, we're going to go to the triggers and conditions and see how you can work with that from here. So submit button, we go to link. And then from here, we click on the pop-up. And then here in the middle, you have all the pre-made options that comes with Brizy Pro. Hey, there's a few. Hey, who's that? Surprise, surprise, man. Almost had a heart attack, these kind of things. Okay. I totally forgot that they included the new kit. So there you go. The new kit has been included. And Dimitri had actually shown these images on the Facebook forum community. So yeah, there you have it. The new kit is already included as well. So you have more to choose from. But like I said, I'm guilty. I have not created my own pop-up. So let's do that and see what works and what doesn't work. Add a blank block. And then it's added in here. You have to click on it again. I'm going to delete one column in the middle. And I did that by right-clicking. And now we have it. So by default, you have it with an overlay on the background. You have your closeout button over here. And it comes in with two columns in a block. That's what you want. So what you will notice is that this is actually a row. You see the settings over here. So your background will be styled over here. So if I go here to background, I have my option, image, all those things. This is a Pro afterwards. and then here, select this one, and I bring in an image. So let's just give it some time. Oh, okay, I see it has loaded, but it's an overlay there. So let's go and take the overlay out by clicking on the color, and the overlay is gone. Now I'm very curious because I want to have my whole image, and how am I going to do that? So let's go to the settings of our row, more settings, and then we have here, okay, so the row will be fixed depending on the contents, right? So we figured that one out, that what you've got here is going to stretch with your content. So if I want to have more of that image in there, and I don't have content, naturally you're going to do that then with a spacer. So let's see if that's going to work. Okay, right. And what happens when I go beyond that, the image starts stretching to fill in the content. Okay, so I'm going to be very happy to bring it all the way to here. I saw corners. Let's go back to the row settings or pop-up settings, more settings, corners. You see, set at 6 pixels. I am, for some reason, a fan of sharpness. I like my things to be cutthroat sharp. So I'm going to reduce that. And now I've got these sharp, nice little corners that I want. It's Halloween after all. If we're not going to cut some throats, then what's the purpose? Right, so let's see. Now we've done that. I have my background. And of course, I've got a spacer here. We're not going to leave the spacer there, so let's delete it. Right click and then delete here. So we will fill it out as we go along. Let me see what I want to achieve here quickly. I just want to see again my sketch. Okay, so what I want to say in the middle is Halloween and then party, sign up. So we bring in text, Halloween, Halloween, text over here. And I'm going to click on it. Let's put it on black. And then I'm going to highlight it all, type in Halloween, and then center it. And let's make it larger. Of course, we're going to need a Halloweeny font. And I've gone online and searched for Halloween fonts with Google Fonts. So let's see, I saw this one over here, Jolly Lodger. Let's see if that is indeed a font. Add new font, Google Fonts, font name, Jolly. And there is our friend Jolly Lodger, right? Good. And say done. Click on it again, choose Jolly Lodger, and indeed, and just click and hold there, and we make Jolly Lodger bigger. If you've watched any of the recent tutorials, I will tell you that when you do this, go to line height and reduce it to 1 so that you can have more content. When you're working with a heading, just keep it on 1. It's going to be the best bet for you in that case. Then under Halloween, we're going to say party. So let's bring in another font here or another text element. And let's click on that. Oops. Highlight it all. Party. A hairy party. Let's not say that. People may take it literal. And then let's also make it bigger. And we center align it. And now I'm going to look for another font. So let's see, this time something more creepy. What do we have here? This one, Butcherman. Makes me think of Butcherman, Butcherman. I want to be a Butcherman. Do you know the name of that song? Wait, let me focus here. Butcherman. Okay, there's Butcherman. Good, so you see all the fonts if you need to do something for Halloween is in Google. You just need to go and search a little bit online and you'll find it. Butcherman, Partey. Yes, and we make this one also bigger. Put it also on 0. And now what I want to do is I want to take that a little bit higher. So let's go back to Butcher, settings, more settings. And then for our margin here, we're going to drag that as such. Let's see. Let's see if we want to put Halloween over it, more settings, advanced, and give it a Z index. There, we love it. Okay. And now we're going to bring in mailer integration. This will be very nice, especially when version 2 comes out, when you have the option to put the button on the side. But for now, we're going to work as follows. We're going to delete this one here and delete this one. And then we are going to grab make our width around 50%. Okay, let me just click here. Settings. I thought I could put it in the middle. No, wait. Let's go back here. What am I doing wrong? Over here. Okay. I'll have to think about this. So let's first do our styling for this. Email required. Yes, width and the spacing is fine. Let's put it on no to serif. That's also correct. No problem with that one. And then for our styling the background, I'm going to take that away. And then for the label, let's put that on black. And for the border, also on black. That's good. Let's go back to typography. Let's put it on bold. Make it a tad bigger so we can see it better. And I'm going to double click here and type in caps email. Email. Right. So there we go. Our button, I centered it, but I don't like it like that. So let's do it like so. If I apply padding to the left, I'm going to put it on percentage of 25% and on the right of 25%. I should get them all in the middle, right? No, not right. So we have to go back then to email and make this 100%. Then it should work. Sure, I should have matriculated in, what do you call it, math. Okay, and then send, join this. When is it? Let me quickly have a look here. Join this Thursday. Okay. Join this Thursday. I wonder if I've ever been to a Halloween party. Shh, don't tell anyone. Okay, this is looking good, right? So there we go. We have it all set out. You can put a little bit more space at the top and the bottom if you want to, but we've done a pretty good job. And here we have styled our pop-up. So simple as any other block, this is how the pop-up is going to work. So let's go to the next part of this pop-up and style the close button over here. If you click on the close button, it brings you the options for this. Over here, you have your label and you have X and Y that you can set it how far away it is from it. You will find that that setting there is good. You can make it bigger, right? Pretty big. Let's make it pretty big. And then for the background, what I'm going to do for this one is, no, we're going to give the background, we're going to leave like that. We want to change the color though. So we go to color and we want to make it a yellow. So to grab a yellow from this image, I'm going to go up here to my eye color picker, click here, then Command Control C, copy that code. Go again to the close button, color, and then double click there, select everything and paste that yellow. Yeah, that looks good. Pretty nice. And then you have the option if you want to keep it inside, then you have to put it on a darker color like black, or you can juggle it around here. Right. And the reason why you would want to juggle it around, okay, let me just do that again. The reason you would want to juggle it around is in case you decide to put it somewhere else on this mat. If you go here to the settings in the top right hand corner and you click on it, you will notice these two options over here. And this is going to vertically and horizontally align this entire pop-up. If I want to move it to the left and right, so we are horizontally moving it, you're going to click on this one, right? And it will cycle through the various states. So if I'm going to put it here on the right, you see the close button disappears. So click again, and then let's put it in the middle. And then you go here and you put it on the left. You see the madness I'm working with? No, that's how it works very intuitively. But I'm going to keep it in the middle. I want it to be impactful. And naturally, I'm going to put it here on the right so that the lefties can get angry. Why everything is on the right? Right, so last one. No, we've gone through all the styling options. Let's go then to the settings here. I've shown you these. We've looked at the horizontal alignment. Let's look at the vertical alignment, same thing. And then over here, we have our pop-up settings. Scroll page behind. Now, currently, I cannot scroll my page if I wanted to have done that. And sometimes you do want that. You activate that. Let's activate it. Let's update it quickly. And then go to the front end so I can show you what it means when you say scroll page behind. Let's pop it out. And then from here, I'll just scroll down. Oh, wait, first click on my button. And now you see I can scroll. and the background will scroll while my pop-up remains open. That is what it will do for you. Let's go back to the settings so you can leave that on. Make it global is going to save it, of course, as a global block that you can use across your site. If you make a change here, it will affect all of them. And then the close button. Click outside the close button. I usually leave that on. Display the close button, yes. And the delay. Now this one is nice. You want people to look at it, but you don't want people to immediately say, I'm not going. I've got better things to do. I'm going to wait for the new Rise of Skywalker to come. Still 2 months. So what you do is you delay it. I'm going to put it, let's say, on 4 seconds to give us some time for that. And then if we say update, and then we go again once it has updated to the front end and reload it. Going to go for Control 5. Take a sip of my coffee. And then scroll to the top. Let's say book now again. No close button. You wait 4 seconds and it appears. This makes sure that your user doesn't just click and, I don't want this. It gives it some time to think about it and then they can exit it. Yeah, of course, we don't want them to leave. That's why we put in that delay over there. And let's see, I think that is what can be done here. Now, this is what you do for an on-click pop-up. I like to call this on-click. You know that in many other designers, we use the word, and builders, the word on-click for a pop-up. You click on a button and it pops up. What I want to do is I want to use it, though, as a pop-up that is triggered by an action on my page. But triggers aren't done within the builder. But now I've styled this very good looking pop-up, Danny. What am I going to do? What you do is you go again up here and you save it. As simple as that. You click on save. And now if you were to create a new pop-up, it will appear there. I say that, but let's go first see if that is the case. You click here on go back to go into your page. Let's find another button. And go to settings, pop-ups. And then pop up here and then save blocks. And it doesn't generate it. And I hope it is there. We will see now when we go to the front end. Otherwise, we're going to do it all from scratch. Okay, so on the front end, we have our pop-up here. People fill in their email. Of course, you have to set up your mailer integration with that. But once that is done, you can collect their email addresses and start harassing them. Now for the triggers. Let's close this page as well. For the triggers, you go to the front end. So I'm going to exit. Didn't I save? I thought I saved. Command Control S. And then we go again to the front end. Back to dashboard. And in the admin panel, you know, this is sometimes the kind of things you learn. And I say it without feeling embarrassed. A lot of us call this the dashboard. It's actually incorrect. The dashboard is only this part of your admin panel. This is what it's actually referred to as the WordPress admin panel. Admin toolbar, admin sidebar, something. Shoot, that bird is loud outside. There's something that I just picked up again in the last few weeks. So I'm trying to correct my bad terminology here in the admin panel. So in the admin sidebar, when you go to Brizy now and you hover over Brizy, you're going to see the pop-ups appear over here. This is where you are going to create for your conditions and triggers. And let me show you what those are. Okay, I've already created that one, so we're going to just delete it. Bin. I changed it to South African English. We use the word bin apparently. I thought we used the word garbage. Right. Right. Halloween. Halloween hairy party. I said I'm not going to use it, and now I do publish. And now I've created that. All I need to do is go and edit it with Brizy. And it's going to, by default, give me this display, which is empty. You have to populate it. I'm going to do my save pop-ups. And if we click on it, let's see what happens. There it is. So there's a little thing. It didn't generate that thumbnail, but we're not going to kill anyone over that because it saved it. I don't need to go and create and style this all over. Perfecto. Now let's look at what makes this one different than the on-click pop-up. So this is our triggers and conditions, and the one I showed you previously is the on-click. I go up here to my settings. Everything here looks the same, except when you go all the way to the left and you click on the pop-up options, you're going to see now the option here, display conditions. Now, click on that and you will find the first part is triggers and then conditions over there. Now the condition, let's start with this one first, is where do you want this pop-up to appear on your site? Currently, I want it to appear on all. What does all mean? Not the entire internet, all the pages and posts on your site, which means any person who come to your site, if they visit your contact us page, if they visit your services page, it will apply to all the pages. You can choose if you only want it to apply to your posts, to your normal pages, which is your main static content pages, to media, categories and tags. Or you can even decide to exclude it from certain pages, right? So let's say, for example, include pages, and then you have the option, all of my pages or my Halloween demo page. Look how smart Brizy is. It knows that I've created that page, the one that I just showed you called Halloween demo. That is the one with the barbershop. So if I only wanted to apply on this one, I say Halloween demo. So it's not going to appear on any other page, not going to offend anyone else, if that were the case. Let's leave it on this one, but I'm going to just save it, just to make sure that one is locked in. We go to triggers, and then on triggers, it says here on page load. So what is the one for? The one is seconds. So the page is going to load, and after 1 second, the pop-up has to appear. Let's give it a little bit more of leeway so it's not too much in your face, 5 seconds, and save it. From here, I'm going to close it. And then I think, what am I on? Brizy local. Let me just grab my link up here. Well, copy. And we open on the front end. Halloween demo. Okay, good. And then from here, we can test our pop-ups. So what did we say? 4 or 5 seconds. We just sit back and relax. And we wait for the pop-up to appear. Did I save it? I didn't save it. Update. I hope that was the case. Otherwise, I'm making a fool of myself again. Again? How many times today, JP? Right, so we reload our page. And then we go through the same procedure as last time. Sit back. Count down the seconds until the bomb explodes. Whew! I'm telling you, there's no air conditioner in this room and it's feeling like a Halloween party already when you hope things can work. I know it works. I've done it so many times before, but come on people, we've all been long in this business. You know, you do something on your website, it works perfectly, and then when you want to show someone else, it doesn't work, and when you try to replicate it, it just doesn't work. That feeling like, it works, and it works consistently, it's a great feeling. Right, so let's have a look now. Now we have added that trigger. And that trigger is, what did we call it? On page load. It will determine in 5 seconds. Now, personally, I'm not a fan of this one at all. There's nothing I hate more than going to sites and I'm barely on the site and there's a pop-up in my face. I don't even know what the site is about. I don't know what they're trying to tell me. And already they're throwing something in my face. It leaves a sour taste in my mouth personally. So I am more one to put a pop-up on exit on intent. So what is that one? Let's go on page exit intent. You see this one over here on page exit intent, and we switch it to this one. No options here. Save it here. Then you close it and then you update it. So you have to remember to go through that routine. Go to the front end, and I'm just going to scroll here and then Command F5 to... Not sure, can you do that on a Mac? Do you have Command F5? I know on Windows it's Control F5. Let me know. And there's our page now. Now, how does my website know I want to leave? That is what exit on intent on exit means. Look, I'm scrolling, right? No plan to leave. No plan to leave. There are two normal ways how people leave your site. The first one is they go to the browser, address bar in the top, or they go to the X to close out the browser. And you see my mouse is hovering here in the middle. I'm not doing that because the moment I'm going to do it, it's going to bring up the pop-up. So observe, I scroll, nothing happens. And then as my mouse goes up here, it appears because it considers your intent that you want to leave. You want to go away, and now it's going to tell you, hey, buddy, before you go, let's talk about it, right? So that is, what was the setting again? Exit on intent, intent on exit, on page exit intent. So this is one of the triggers that I personally like. The other one is also called after inactivity. I know this is often used on e-commerce sites. You're looking at a product and you anticipate that the person is looking at this product and they are not sure, do they want to use this product or not? And then you are basically bringing them that pop-up that says, hey, Jack, can I help you with something? Is there anything you need assistance with? So after inactivity, again, this will be set in seconds. I'm not going to show you that. You can try that one out by yourself. Show after X, I remember we went through this, is how many page views on your site, how many pages, different pages you've gone to. So let's say you've got a lot of pages on your site. Let's say not that many nowadays, depends on how big your site is. Person comes to your home page, then they go to your About Us page, then they go to your news page. After 3 page views, the pop-up will appear. You also have sessions. So if a person has been in a session in the browser, 2 or 3 sessions, then it will appear. This is a pretty smart pop-up, right? Show on devices. Now, show on devices is something that you can add as an additional trigger. So for example, here, if you say you want to have it on page load after 5 seconds, and you want it on the following devices only, show on devices, desktop, tablet, or mobile. If I put it on desktop now, it will only appear on your desktop. It will not appear on a tablet nor on a mobile. And if you want to have it on desktop and tablet, you will have to bring in one more for that. Show on devices. I think that's the case, right? So remember that. Oops. Right. So you can add more than one. And you will see some of them, of course, you're not going to have 2 of them on the same time, but in other cases, you can load more than one. Then you also have your hide for logged in users arriving from. You can actually show the URL. If person is coming from a specific page, this one will display hide and other things as well. And what else do we have here? Doop, doop, doop. On click, that's also easy one. Show after X, show on devices, on scroll, right? On scroll. And this is Timmy told me percentage, right? So if you scroll down, let's put it on 50%. So this one should go, oops, I keep adding more. So I can click click anywhere here, it will add one more. This one will work in percentage. So it goes from 0 to 100. So if I scroll on my page all the way from 0 to 50% halfway mark, it's going to appear. So let's save it and then close out here and update it. And to the front, let me just wait for that. I'll first close it, go to the top, and now let's reload the page. If I scroll down, the moment I reach, I don't think it's 50 picas or 50 pixels, right? I remember I spoke to Dimitri and he said it's percentage, right? So let's scroll, nothing happens, nothing happens, nothing happens. And there we go. Is that 50%? Yeah, you would have seen here on the right. My handlebar here was 50%. That's a great way. And I prefer this than the on page where you come in and it pops into your face within the first 2 to 3 seconds. That when you scroll down, I don't think it will trigger a second time. Important, it won't trigger a second time. It will only trigger that first time. And I prefer it like that too. Instead of annoying the living daylights out of your viewers, just give it to them once or twice. And if they are not interested, let it go, Sally, let it go. And I think that's it. Let's just go back and see if there's anything else I missed. Close. Same here. We have the same close options with a delay of 4 seconds because we had saved it. Remember, we had set it up when we were in the page builder with the on-click pop-up, and then we had saved it up over here. And then, okay, so make it global is the same as any block if you make it global. We talked about it earlier as well. If you then make it global and you have it on many pages with different conditions, Then if you make a change to this one over here, let's say I want to change the color, right? Then it will apply to all the others as well. Right, so I hope this was a informative off-the-cuff session here at Learn Brizy Page Builder. I really like how this pop-up builder has shaped out. It's done the Brizy way, and I really enjoy and like the Brizy way. You can tell, right? So currently this is in beta. You can test it if you have a beta account. And then I think if I look at it, I haven't seen any bugs yet. But if you do see any bugs or glitches, oh, we talked about maybe the thumbnail, right? The thumbnail didn't, but that could just be my internet speed as well. If you do find them, please let Brizy know. We would like to know where changes can be made, and it will help us to shape this product up very nicely for the official release. Have a nice, Wednesday? Have a nice Wednesday, and see you around then in the next off-the-cuff, well, is it impromptu, unprepared? You can hear it. It's clearly very unprepared.